Making YouTube videos is hard. Even a short 5-minute video takes hours to make, and most of this time is spent on editing. But is it actually worth it? Will editing get you more views? I analyzed hundreds of videos to figure it out. The result was completely unexpected to me. But before we dive into the data, let's set up the board. Video editing is made up of many different actions. Things like adding sound effects, color correction, or transitions. Today's video will focus exclusively on the question of adding a B-roll to your video. What's a B-roll? So right now you're seeing me talking. This is a talking head video. This is called an A-roll. Anytime you would see something else on the screen, like an animation or a scene from a TV show, that would be a B-roll. Finding and adding B-roll takes a lot of time. So should you do it? To answer this question, we need to take a bunch of videos, see if they had B-roll in them, and then compare the amount of views they got. But if this sounds too simple to be true, it's because, well, it is. You see, videos succeed and fail because of many different reasons. The quality of the title, thumbnail, and topic obviously play a very important role. If you want to understand if having B-roll in your video gets you more views, we need to try and control these other factors as best as we can. Here's how I did it. I took hundreds of how much YouTube paid me videos. You've probably seen one of them before. It's a very common type of video where the YouTuber shares how much money they did on YouTube. These videos all share the same basic idea. The titles are almost exactly the same, and even the thumbnails resemble each other. Okay, you got the idea. Let's talk about how I did the actual research. This beautiful piece of code here does something pretty simple. First, it downloads the video from YouTube. Then, it detects any scene changes. For example, if you're seeing me now, but suddenly I start sharing my screen, that would be a different scene. For each scene, I take one frame and send all frames to be grouped into clusters. Then I take frame samples of each of these clusters and ask ChatGPT, is this an image of a person talking in a talking head video? That's how I know which parts of the video shows B-roll. All the data that came from the code we've just seen is then stored in this spreadsheet here. You can see we have data about transition count. How many times did the video transition between B-roll and A-roll? We also know just what percentage of the video is B-roll and what percentage of the first minute specifically is B-roll. So what does the data tell us? Out of 300 videos, almost 40% had B-roll and 60% did not. This was surprising to me because from my experience on YouTube, having B-roll seemed like pretty much the standard experience. The interesting part is of course the correlation between having a B-roll and the views. The median amount of views for videos with B-roll is 10 times higher than the median amount of views for videos without it. This is a very extreme result I did not expect to get. I thought maybe we'll see 10 or 15% increase, not 10x. Here's another way to look at the data. In this chart you see two lines. Each point in the line is a single video. The blue line represents videos with B-roll and the red line represents videos without B-roll. The first thing you'll notice is the shape of the line, which is not very surprising. In any type of content, songs, movies, books, you'll see what's called the long tail. Very few videos get most of the views, and that's true whether you have B-roll or not. Most videos just don't go viral. However, when we look at the median amount of views, we're not as impacted by the top performing videos. Medians show the common experience for people in this group of creators. For videos with B-roll, the videos that are mid-tier, that are exactly at the middle of the distribution, 50% did better than them, 50% did worse than them. These videos did way better than if you look at the videos that are mid-tier for the group without B-roll. This represents the majority experience in the long tail. This is what happens for most videos. And even when we control for the size of the channel, the results remain the same. Videos with B-roll perform much better than videos without it. But just how much B-roll do you need in your video? These bars represent the percentage of the video that is talking head as opposed to B-roll. So in this bar, only 10% of the video is talking head and the rest is B-roll, as opposed to 90% talking head. Most videos with B-roll had between 16 and 80% talking head. They sprinkled some B-roll to make it a bit more interesting. However, when we look at the distribution of views, we see that videos with 30 or 40% talking head had the most views. So not only do videos with B-roll do better than ones without, we also see that videos that use more B-rolls did better than ones that used less B-roll. My explanation for these numbers might not shock you. B-roll makes the video more interesting, the average view duration increases the impression gets you more views. So basically, B-roll gets you more views. That's the explanation. So should you invest the time in adding B-roll to your videos? After seeing these numbers, my answer is absolutely yes. If you want to save time in editing, Gling can save you literally hours by having AI do all the boring cuts for you. Check it out here.